Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and a warm welcome to this week's Walking Wednesday. As usual, I was on the road, and then immediately, as I clear up enough storage to record, two cars off in the distance. And, oh, I thought that was a bike or something coming my way. I guess I'm so used to the big European cities, where that is very much the norm. Then again, I guess I could just look in my reflection because I can see myself. Should have thought of that. Oh well. So, on to the subject of today. I'm exhausted. It's very much, definitely feels like I'm back. And in some ways, you know, I haven't expended actually no, because I haven't expended too much energy. It really depends on the day. And I'll get to the reason why in a second. So, this is I think this is the first full week that I've been back, basically. And during that time, I was hoping, okay, so of course I'm going to be catching up on some other, you know, pending projects, because I left Aiden in charge of anything to do with the Mutant Girl for quite some time. It turns out that when I came back, most of the lines were indeed collected, and I thought, okay, this is brilliant. Let's go ahead and deal with some of those. Unfortunately, one of the people who wasn't collected happened to be one of the main characters, so once again we had to actually play a little bit of a waiting game. But on some level, I was able to make some progress with that. I did tell Aiden also during the time that he would be in charge of also not just collecting lines, but also, you know, the directing and producing side of things, as in compiling the lines together and selecting the best takes. Not something that he is unfamiliar with doing, but maybe he thought, okay, best if I just wait a little bit until such a time as Jacob has returned. And so I guess that is what happened in the end. So yeah, that was fine. So I thought, okay, let's get a move on with this. And turns out we've also got a bit of a head start with episode 4. All great things, and in a good position. And so I thought, okay, can get going with Mutant Girl, but at a little bit of a tranquil pace, as I have just had nearly 2 entire weeks of hectic traveling around, and I need time. As it turns out, time was not granted to me, because pretty much immediately several things happened. Firstly, we had a relative's birthday, again not saying which one. And my relative's birthday celebration, I should say. So on one day of the week, I can't remember which one it was, we actually went to a restaurant as a family, big family reunion, and right before that happened, I got a text from my cousin saying, are you gonna be going there? Can I sit next to you so I don't get bored? To which I say, of course, yeah, I was planning to do that anyway. And I was planning to do that anyway. But, so yeah, she's happy with that. I go there, no one knows about the text, so I sort of say, oh, okay, I've got a text, don't worry, I know where I'm going. And, yeah, we were there, and during that time, she introduced me to something. Well, see, I saw on her phone screen, because she had a phone with her, I think it was either TikTok or YouTube Shorts, one of the two. And as it turns out, one of the videos that came on there was a gacha one. So, being me, obviously, I immediately go, wait, you watch gacha videos? And sorry, that came out in a mocking way. No, I was excited about it, obviously. So, and turns out that no, it was just one that came up. However, that actually got us into talking about another type of app that she does actually use. that being Toca Life World. And once I went to that, as it turns out, Toca Life World as a community is sort of in the same position that Gacha was about 5 years ago. As in, people are catching on to it at the moment. It's on the rise, and it is mostly populated by children doing their first role plays with the characters, obviously. So yeah, of course that piqued my curiosity. A whole new community with a different application that operates in a similar manner but not entirely the same, and it has unique things to offer at the same time, because obviously she then went on to explain to me how some of the things you can actually do. Of course, I immediately went and recorded a video about that, which hasn't come out yet because, again, I was thought, okay, well, I've recently started using this thing called Gling, which uses some aspects of AI to speed up the process of editing and make it removes false takes and pauses, which can sometimes be beneficial, but I still have to go through the video all the way anyway to make sure that it's accurate. But I can actually pinpoint on there on the text to see where I can actually go up and do changes myself. So once again, using AI in an ethical manner to enhance the work that I'm doing and not replace it, and also reduce the time. So again, I thought, okay, well, that's not going to be too bad. I can still do musical stuff and still relax and whatever. You know, I'll work on this while things are going on, and that would have been fine. One extra thing, maybe two, because I did see another video from Funky Frogbait about reaction content. I was like, okay, I want to talk about this too. But overall, not much. Basically. So that kind of fake take would have been removed if I used it for these videos. But I'm not going to. And that was when. Sorry, something's in my shoe. Okay, yeah. So back to this. I thought, okay, I'll make my way through this. I'll ask for the redirections. I will threaten the voice actor in question with the backup, so they actually get a move on, which worked. And you know, that should have been fine. All of that can be manageable at the same time as the thing that I knew I was going to be doing as soon as I came back, that I should have prepared for a lot more. And that is because my nan's funeral is going to be at the end of the month, on the 31st, I believe. That would be the end of the month, obviously. Well, we've been preparing. Some of us have been preparing eulogies, or some of us who put our names down, I should say, and then said, okay, I want to speak. It's so we have that. We had a meeting this week preparing, you know, the order we're going to go in, the lineup, and also trying to go over things that we were going to actually say. And my mum happens to be in charge of organizing all of that and putting it together. And yeah, she was reassuring me, because I was really worried about it, because because of being away, I wasn't in the right headspace to work on that anyway and think about everything I wanted to say. So I did come back and make a list, and I brought a list with me to workshop with the other people who are going to be speaking. And I thought, okay, well, that's gonna be, I can go through this list here and see what can actually be added or removed or anything, because we only have a half an hour time slot. So I basically was kind of worried because yeah, one of my uncles says to the other all the time that he, the second uncle, likes to prolong his speeches a lot, and is famous for long-winded, waffly content whenever given the chance to present it. And on one hand, I'm thinking, okay, maybe they've got more experience in that regard than me, because from the one speech that I remember of the second uncle was actually at the first uncle's wedding, which happened to be an original poem that wasn't actually that long, really. It was just kind of the joke and the anticipation that was expected, and then he subverted all our expectations, which means that I guess that's been tempered to some degree. The thing is that the first uncle, despite plenty of experience with the second uncle, doesn't know what I'm like in that regard. So I honestly, I feel like the second uncle is Cliff Notes compared to some of the stuff that I end up doing. And naturally, you remember from the Walking Wednesday that I did, you know, right after my nan passed away, that I think I was there for about 40 minutes. I drained out all of the storage in my camera just talking about her, and that's a longer video than the time for the entire speeches that we have, plus a poem we're gonna do, plus time for reflection, plus. So yeah, I was concerned I only brought bullet points there, and I did start working on some of the paragraphs, but I was assured, okay, so by the weekend, to have all of this stuff prepared and ready to go. And so again, I thought, okay, well, I mean, I need to stay in the right headspace for that, but over time I will continue to add to this and turn the bullet points, only one of which actually got turned down, into paragraphs, and then we shall see how it goes, because then it will fall to me, most likely, to end up going through what everyone has said and, you know, kind of either draw it to some sort of conclusion or theme, or just get rid of the repetition. I wonder where I've got the idea for me to do that. But yeah, that was fine. So I was like, okay, all right. So I won't worry about this. I will keep working on it, but I'm not going to, again, stress about it. And then, as it turns out, yesterday, she said to me, oh hey, can we go through this stuff today? Well, I suppose we can. It's not remotely ready. I still have bullet points. And also, I did mention on the family group chat, if anyone was something to say, go ahead. And one person did. So, yeah, I'm still very much trying to go through that at the same time. And so I'm kind of thinking, like, okay, so what does she want to confirm now? Because we just had a meeting 2 days ago about this exact thing, where it all seemed to be fine. But I guess maybe something else, or going into more detail with me, because I'm last in the roster, so I didn't get as much of a focus as Uncles 1 and 2. So yeah, I don't know yet, but I guess I'll find that out. And yet, even despite all of that, despite everything there, you know, the one, maybe 2 AI assisted videos, still continuing with the Mutant Girl, which has no deadline really. It just, you know, keep cranking at it. Suddenly, you know, that was all okay. You can balance that out. Enter Aiden once again, and this is where I start to get properly exhausted with things. So with most of that other stuff, eulogy exempt, there's no specific deadline for it. It's just, you know, we want to keep the energy up from the latest Mutant Girl upload because we don't want to spend another 9 months without a release of a new episode. I'm not counting the remake in this instance. Yeah, but again, you know, all could have been okay, but as it happens, since Aiden is now free from the shackles of there's responsibility of directing and producing the Mutant Girl, he's now gone back to the position of directing and producing his own stuff, namely another Fallen Angels remake. And that, of course, would be because we got up to episode 5, which I think he was actually planning on remaking way back in the day. I remember that when he wanted to do the season 1 movie edit, he didn't want to have the originals on there, like the Mutant Girl season 1 movie edit, because by that point I wasn't doing remakes yet. I wouldn't for another entire year. And that at that point, oh, it's a plane now. It's not cars, it's planes. But yeah, I guess episode 5. I guess episode 5 it warranted some waiting, because it got to 4, did the movie edit, and then we carried on. And now it seems he's gone back, which might have been prompted by the new rise of reactors, particularly to Fallen Angels. So that was namely Josh and KW, most notably. Yeah, because for those two, particularly for KW, the song itself garnered a lot of enthusiasm, unlike back in the day. And I mentioned the song specifically because that was the part that in the original was recorded using a demo track that I recorded of the song, and then Aiden used that, but also made the demo's lyrics at the same time, the demo vocals, I mean, at the same time. Which, of course, ooh, now that's an interesting path. You can't even see it. You can barely see it on the camera. Okay, let's see what we've got down here. Yeah, so yeah, that was why it ended up the way that it did. Also, partly was my fault for not making the song to match his vocal range. I got very carried away when writing Wings. I just sort of, it's one of those things where it sort of took over. And so this time Aiden asked me, okay, so can we record Wings again? And we did. So we recorded it on Craig, so I could isolate his vocals, and then it came to me to produce it because I know the timing. And yeah, the original version, it wasn't like he was just off because he was listening to me and then immediately repeating what I said, or that was part of it. Sometimes he was far behind, sometimes he was a little bit ahead. And at one point he actually managed to, in the middle, come full circle, and this goes down a long way, so I don't want to be walking up a hill too far, so I'm going to turn around again. So this time it was also all over the place, because also one of the other things that happened was, because it was on Craig, I couldn't hear the audio, the music at the same time as Aiden, so I was unable to tell he was on time in the moment. So I call that Beethovening. Ghosty was also there, and we both acted as kind of vocal coaches. But yeah, once it came to actually producing it, it took several days because, well, the other stuff was going on. and at the same time, where did I go? Up here, yeah. At the same time, it was still just a laborious task anyway. At one point, I actually also kind of tripped myself up a bit, so I recorded another demo of the song to match up, and eventually did manage to get that just right. But while that was going on, Aidan went back to his previous fashion of calling me at 3 in the morning. I guess I've now realized that's when he gets off work, to ask about some stuff and work on some things. Not even just the song, but at the same time he also would ask me, hey, can you record, how are you doing with the song? How is that going? Can you finish by this time? And also, he made a promo video for the remake itself, and said that that was actually coming out on August 26th. And I saw that on August 22nd. So I kind of feel like that was a little bit of a tactic to be like, okay, I'm not going to tell you what your deadline is directly to your face, but you are still going to know about it. And so all of yesterday, I focused pretty much exclusively on finishing that up, only for me to hear the song again, the bad version, on KW's channel before her stream started. So yeah, fun times for all. And that's not even just the full extent of it, because Aidan also has, now that I'm back, is using the inspiration that he also got to try and get a Spanish dub of both Mutant Girl and Fallen Angels to start up. And again, I'm at capacity here, pretty much with everything I've just said, because the Spanish dub, a lot of it falls on my shoulders to produce an audition video in Spanish and then also translate the scripts in the first place, of which he wants. I'm at capacity on the phone as well, of which he wants. There's 2 episodes of Fallen Angels, and then now also, because of the remake of Mutant Girl, 3 episodes of that. And then so yeah, that's also what he asked me to do immediately after after finishing the song. It's like, hey, can you do this tonight, at 3 AM again? I said, can I just finish the Mutant Girl or something, please? Like, I want to get back to that now I've got all the lines, because I did do that too. But I mean, even that, watching KW watch Alpha Witch Academy just kind of awakened the passion for that again. That's been even more delayed than the Mutant Girl has. Yeah, the Mutant Girl always ends up superseding it, even though it's a much more stressful show to actually make. And yeah, I won't say I'm burnt out with the Mutant Girl, far from it. It's just that I do need some time. I didn't really get time after coming back before everything started. I knew I was going to have to catch up with things, voice acting aside. But here we are again. I'm running out of time here as well. So we'll see how that goes. But until next time, farewell.